Menards lumber has a reputation problem. Walk through any Midwestern contractor forum, any woodworking community, any DIY subreddit with users in Wisconsin, Illinois, or Minnesota, and you will find the same complaint in different words. The lumber is warped, the grades are not what they are marked, and the delivery load that arrived on Tuesday morning had 3 acceptable boards out of every 10. The complaint is consistent enough that it has become a running joke in regional trade communities, and it is not entirely wrong. But it is also not the complete picture. The complete picture includes the fact that Home Depot and Lowe's lumber is often equally problematic, that Menards plywood is widely regarded as superior to both competitors, and that Menards' lumber price advantage is large enough that a significant number of professional builders drive more than 100 miles to buy there, despite knowing what they will find when they arrive. Understanding the lumber problem at Menards, what is real, what is industry-wide, and what is specific to how Menards operates, is more useful than the reputation alone. The reputation is not entirely fair in one specific way. Big box lumber quality is structurally inferior to lumberyard quality across all 3 major chains. Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards all source lumber from the same open market and all receive lower grade material than a real lumberyard carries. That is not an accident or a quality failure. It is the documented economics of how big box retail works. Lumberyards sell to contractors who specify grade, reject unacceptable material at delivery, and have established relationships with mills that provide consistent quality. Big box chains sell to whoever walks through the door, price against each other aggressively, and stock whatever the open market provides at the volume their purchasing power can buy. The board you are sorting through at Menards is the same category of board you would sort through at Home Depot. The difference between the chains is in the specific practices that make that sorting experience better or worse. And Menards has specific practices that make it worse. To understand why Menards lumber is the way it is, you have to understand what the open lumber market actually delivers to a big box retailer versus what a real lumberyard negotiates for. All 3 chains buy dimensional lumber, 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x10s, from mills on the open market. They do not own mills. They do not specify grade at the mill level with the same leverage that a large commercial contractor or a specialty lumberyard uses. They buy what is available at the price their volume purchasing power produces, and they stock it at the grade the mill stamps on the end of the board. The grade stamp is supposed to reflect the board's quality tier, number 1, number 2, or number 3, with corresponding expectations about knot size, moisture content, straightness, and usable wood percentage. What gets stamped on the board at the mill and what the buyer finds when they unwrap the bundle at the store are 2 different conversations because grading is done at the mill by a human grader making rapid decisions on a production line, and the grade can be wrong in either direction. Here is where the Menards-specific problems become documented and distinct from the industry-wide baseline. Multiple experienced builders in trade forums have documented the regrading allegation. Menards lumber has been reported to carry grade stamps that do not reflect the actual quality of the board. Number 3 material stamped as number 2. Number 2 material presented as number 1. This cannot be confirmed with a primary source, and Menards has not addressed it publicly. But the pattern of the complaint is consistent across independent sources over more than a decade of forum discussions from buyers with genuine trade experience. A person who grades lumber for a living and shops at Menards reported the complaint in a homesteading forum with the specificity of someone who knows exactly what a grade stamp should represent. The complaint is not that Menards sells bad lumber. It is that the grade stamp on the board may not mean what it is supposed to mean, which matters when a buyer is paying a grade premium. The delivery problem is separately documented by a former Menards employee with first-hand knowledge. The account, posted in a trade forum, was direct. Do not rely on loads being pulled and delivered at Menards. Workers pulling lumber loads for delivery will put in any piece to complete the order rather than selecting boards that meet the grade expectation. A buyer who goes to Menards and hand sorts boards on the pile can find acceptable material. A buyer who orders delivery and trusts the load will find a higher percentage of culls than what they would have selected in person. This is not unique to Menards. The same issue exists at Home Depot and Lowe's, but the Menards delivery experience has been specifically and repeatedly cited as a problem by multiple independent sources in a way that the other two chains have not been. The treated lumber category deserves specific mention because it is where Menards' supply chain actually differs structurally from its competitors. Menards runs its own treated lumber plant in Wisconsin through Midwest Manufacturing, its captive manufacturing subsidiary. That plant gives Menards more control over the treatment process and the moisture content of pressure-treated boards leaving the facility than Home Depot or Lowe's has over their third-party treated lumber suppliers. Multiple buyers have reported positive experiences with Menards treated lumber specifically, while the dimensional lumber complaints continue. The structural explanation is the vertical integration. Menards controls the treated product more directly than it controls the open market dimensional lumber. The categories where Menards has more supply chain control are the categories where the quality is more consistent. The reason Menards gets away with the lumber reputation is not that customers do not notice. They do. The reason is that the price advantage is large enough to absorb the sorting cost. Menards dimensional lumber is consistently 15 to 20% cheaper than the equivalent material at Home Depot and Lowe's. During the 11% rebate, the effective net price drops further. Iowa area builders have been documented driving more than 100 miles to the nearest Menards specifically for lumber, despite knowing the quality sorting requirement. Because the savings on a full house framing order justify the extra time spent culling boards. A buyer willing to hand sort at the pile and reject unacceptable boards can get acceptable number 2 framing lumber at Menards for a price that no other big box chain in the Midwest matches. The sorting requirement is the price of the price advantage. Most experienced buyers have decided that trade-off is worth making. The practical guidance from all of this is specific. Buy lumber at Menards under 3 conditions. You have the time and access to hand sort boards on site before purchase. You are buying framing lumber where minor defects can be worked around. And you are taking advantage of a rebate event that further reduces the effective net cost. Do not order Menards lumber for delivery if the project requires consistent quality across the load, because the delivery problem is real and documented. Do not rely on the grade stamp as the primary quality indicator when buying at Menards. Inspect the board yourself regardless of what the stamp says. Buy plywood at Menards without reservation. The plywood reputation is the inverse of the dimensional lumber reputation. Menards carries a wider selection of plywood grades, better availability of Baltic birch and hardwood-faced panels, and consistent stock of pre-cut sections that Home Depot and Lowe's do not maintain. Multiple trade and woodworking communities specifically recommend Menards as the first stop for sheet goods while using the local lumber yard or another source for dimensional lumber. That split, plywood at Menards, dimensional lumber elsewhere for precision work, is the practical resolution that experienced Midwest builders have settled on. The lumber is not great. The plywood is excellent. The price advantage is real. And the sorting requirement is the honest cost of doing business at a store that charges less for the same category of material that every other big box chain is also not particularly proud of. If this changed how you think about which store to visit before your next project and what to buy there versus somewhere else, subscribe. The category-by-category reality of what each store actually does well is more useful than any single store ranking. And the stores that do some things badly are often the same ones doing other things better than anyone else.